Hey everyone, Roadbreach here, and today we're taking a look at the Transformers 1 trailer. This has been a long time coming. After getting nothing but silhouettes of what the characters were going to look like, we finally have a good idea on what the characters will look like, and how well the actors fit the characters they're voicing. So without further ado, let's do this. First things first, the animation. I've seen an article that described the animation as breathtaking and beautiful, and that's no embellishment. I like that the characters look streamlined and highly detailed, but have the liquid metal faces that we're all familiar with. One odd quirk about how they look is the nose. D16 and Orion have these wide noses that look a little weird. In a way, these designs look a lot like Earthspark, but with more detail. I make a lot of comparisons in my videos, but the way the characters move along with the lighting kinda reminds me of Rift Apart. And these elks remind me of something that you'd see in the Horizon games. It also looks as though the Quintessons are going to be one of the antagonists, because this looks like a Quintesson prosecutor, or more like an Alpha Quintesson if we look at the arms. Another thing I didn't think about until now is that people are saying that this bot looks a little bit like Sentinel Prime, based on the fact that his design looks a little bit like animated Sentinel, and I kinda see that. So this could be a case of Sentinel wanting to portray Optimus, much like how he did in Dark of the Moon. As for Cybertron, it looks gorgeous. There's lush exotic plant life, cool looking technological cityscapes, mountain ranges, and even a savanna. I've said that Cybertron isn't the most visually interesting planet I've seen in fiction, but this version of Cybertron looks like a place I definitely want to go to. It looks like this version of Starscream is actually the leader of the Decepticons before Megatron was in this iteration, so Megatron taking over would definitely give him a good motive for wanting to take him out of the picture, as opposed to Starscream being spoiled and wanting underlings to do his dirty work for him. And while we're on the topic of familiar bots showing up in this trailer, that's definitely Arachnid from Transformers Prime, so that's pretty cool. As for how Chris Hemsworth and Brian Tyree play Orion and D16 respectively, I'm more partial towards how Chris is playing Orion in this version. No hate to Brian Tyree, but this doesn't really strike me as the type of guy that would become an evil overlord and overthrow an entire galaxy. I feel as though a better option would have probably been, I don't know, Keith David. His gravitas can make him seem like a normal guy at times, but he can definitely sound evil and intimidating when he wants to. But I am willing to cut some slack because both of them feel like two different versions of the everyman protagonists that are destined for great things, in one way or another. So I'm probably just being a little pessimistic. Alita doesn't really show what her character is like in this trailer, but she does get some cool moments, like seeing her transform while attacking another bot. B-127, or Bumblebee, is clearly meant to be the comic relief, kinda like how he was in Generation 1. However, I am kinda apprehensive about this version of him, but I'll just need to see how I like him when this movie comes out. One thing I'm a little iffy about is the fact that they can't transform from the get-go, and need to be given the power to do it. But maybe this is like the comics, where the functionist government on Cybertron made them that way, and if that is the case, then I guess I can live with that. The transforming does look pretty cool though, and seeing as how the characters say things like this,
"You know what? We are so screwed."
I'm actually working on some nicknames. The one I'm floating right now is Badassatron, which is actually pronounced Badassatron.
There's a good chance that this movie might be rated PG-13, which I like the prospect of, and it makes me wish more animated movies got the PG-13 rating. I was a little worried that Josh Cooley was going to mess up this movie because Toy Story 4 does not hold up under scrutiny, but the people in charge of the story do have more good projects under their belts than bad ones, so my hopes have been lifted a little bit. And that's about all I wanted to say regarding this trailer. Overall, I'm pretty excited for this movie. I was curious what an animated Transformers movie was going to look like in the 2020s, and I'm not disappointed by what I'm seeing. But what do you think of the trailer? Are you excited for this movie? Disagree with anything I said? Let's discuss it in the comments. Thanks for watching, and gotta zoom.